Good players versus difference makers. In any team, sports team, business team, family, community, etc., there are good players and there are difference makers, and I'm going to explain to you the difference between the two. I'm going to assume that you're not just some bum garbage player. There are garbage players too, but I'm just not talking about them for the context of this video. A good player is a player who does their job, shows up every day, and they contribute. They show up when they're supposed to show up, they leave when they're told to leave, they contribute, and they do a good job of what they're asked to do within the description of their job role, and they don't do anything less, they don't do anything more. In other words, a good player is pretty good at maintaining the status quo of whatever your organization already had going on before they got there. They will help maintain it. They're not going to make it worse, but they're not going to make it significantly better either. So whatever you have going on, you add a good player, they will help maintain what you have going on. A difference maker, on the other hand, is a person who changes the trajectory of an organization, group, team, or community. A difference maker shows up and does their job the same way that a good player does, but they go a step beyond. Difference maker goes a step beyond because they can take a good situation and make it great. They can take a great situation and they can make it legendary. They can take a bad situation and actually turn it good. Difference maker is a person who changes the trajectory of what's happening in a place. And this is not because the difference maker is necessarily more skilled or harder working or more resourced or even more experienced than the good player. Sometimes they have those things, but that's not the difference. That's not the real difference between a good player and a difference maker. The difference between a good player and a difference maker is that the good player, in their mind, the story they have in their head is, I'm here to do my job. I'm just doing my job. Any of you ever been at a job and you said that? I'm just doing my job. I'm here to do my job. Or you were asked to do something at work, or it was, you thought of maybe doing something, or someone suggested you do something at your job and you said, that's not my job. They don't pay me to do that. That's not what they asked me to do. I'm just going to do what they asked me to do. I'm not going to do anything less, but I'm also not going to do anything more. That's the mindset of a good player. And again, a good player can have a long career, not a memorable one, but a long one, and they can get around, they can get their paycheck. A difference maker, on the other hand, is a person who goes above and beyond, because the difference maker mentally takes responsibility for the success of the entirety of the organization, not just them doing their own job personally. The difference maker says, because I'm on this team must be successful. Not just me doing what I got to do. I'm going to do what I got to do for me. And actually, I'm going to do what I got to do for the whole team. And me is going to get taken care of in the process because I'm making the team win. The difference maker is a person who takes the mental responsibility and the emotional responsibility for the entire organization being better because they are on it. And the difference maker, and that's the reason why the difference maker can change the trajectory of the organization, because they take on more responsibility than the good player does, even though their skill levels may be relatively close. The question you need to ask yourself is, are you and do you want to be a good player or a difference maker? Power Presence Protocol.